yesterday, I follow Seth Abramson on Twitter. I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter, but I follow him because he does this thing where he collects stories and information, and then he retweets them in a way that kind of shows you how they are all linked together. He was a guest on Rachel once, and he was connecting dots from like 2013 all the way up to present time, and I was like, holy shit. And if we didn't have somebody like him, like a historian type person, we would have never connected all these dots. So yesterday afternoon, he tweeted, a picture is emerging across 10 media investigative reports of the COVID-19 outbreak in the United States as a bribery scandal in which Trump looked the other way on intel about the virus in November in order to placate Chinese lenders and to get political dirt on Joe Biden. And then he goes and he lists 15 stories that are supporting this article or this claim by all these 10 media outlets. Going back years.
But I don't...
And I'm like, oh dear God, please don't let this be true. But I'm sure that it is.
I mean, but I think the problem that we have is we have a populace that, of course, when those stories came out the first time, they were dismissed. Mm-hmm. And then, and kind of Rachel does this all the time too, where you look back and you go, oh, the ducks did line up in a row.
Yep.
It's just we couldn't see it then, but we can see it now. We can
right,
we can
because
pull
they
back
lined
and
up
see
so
it.
slowly,
Mm-hmm.
or they lined up so sporadically that we didn't notice that they were lining up. And that's what Seth does on Twitter. That's his whole account, is he will do that type of lining up the ducks so that you can see them.
I don't honestly, as far as I'm concerned, basically it seems to me Trump should go literally from the White House straight to jail.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he really, there's...
They should arrest him.
I think there are too many things, and he should not get bail.
No.
You know, he should be, I mean, literally, like, as soon as the other person takes the oath of office, because at that moment, they could just take him away.
Right.
That's when it should happen. And that's what it should happen live on TV. Just
only
that they should, like, it should, as soon as that person takes their hand off the book that they choose for their oath, they take their hand off that book. They should literally,
Wait, should choose the book.
Yes, of course you could choose the book.
You can take your oath on anything you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Because could you imagine you're not Christian?
change?
Yeah. What if you're not Christian? You're not going to take your oath on the Bible.
So you can take your oath on like a
You can take your oath on
Any
anything.
book you want.
Like Playboy or something.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't know that.
It's your.
I always thought it was the Bible.
No.
It was supposed to be.
No.
if
It
you're
can be
Muslim?
anything. It can be anything. It can be. It actually can be any book.
It's like a Dr. Seuss book.
Sure.
Anything.
Anything that has words in it.
I don't.
I don't even know if it needs
Like
words.
a magazine.
I think it's just a book. I think at the beginning of the country it was the Bible.
Right, but that's
But
had to
then
change.
that right.
You can't have freedom of religion and then say you can only swear an oath on this book.
Yeah, but
Right.
what if you're not part of that religion?
Right.
Then if your oath is predicated on a belief in that book,
Yeah.
then what if you don't believe that book? Then your oath doesn't have a meaning.
Right.
So, what if Dr. Seuss is your deal? That's your
Cat in the Hat. man.
your big daddy is Dr. Seuss. Then yeah, that's you take your oath on Dr. Seuss. Big Daddy Seuss, man.
That
Papa
could be-
Seuss.
That could be your rap name.
Papa Seuss.
Papa Seuss.
That's a rhyming motherfucker. He can rhyme anything.
That would be funny.
Anyway, what was I saying before you sidetracked us with?
At least 4 presidents have not been sworn in on a Bible.
You said as soon as they take their hand off the book.
Yeah, then they should swoop in. They should literally come before he can get away, because he's going to. No.
Secret Service
No. Get away is what the president essentially does,
Right.
because they have to go back and get on Marine One to go to Air Force, or
No.
it's not Marine One anymore, but they have to get on the helicopter and fly out from the White House. So they literally get away. So they need to come and get him right then and there on national TV.
Pincer maneuver.
And read him his rights as a citizen and all those things that the what is it? The Southern, what are they called? The Southern blank of New York or whatever. The
Southern tip of New York?
no.
Oh,
Hell?
the Southern District of New York.
Thank
Sorry.
you. The
Southern tip of New York.
Sorry, I was reading something.
You should stop.
Oh god.
Southern District of New
Yeah.
York.
And they should just let the people take him into custody. It should happen right then and there. The whole country should see it,
Right.
because
He should be arrested on the
that
pulpit.
is what they've been building toward
Yeah.
with all of the cases that they supposedly are researching about what Trump has done wrong before, during his presidency.
Right.
So that's what should happen
January 21st.
like a year from now.
January 20th or 21st.
That's what should happen.
Yeah.
Because now, as far as I'm concerned, white women gonna put his ass back in office again. Like I've said many times before, that's a thing that's going to happen. That's what I think. I do not think that people are going. Oh, I mean, okay, here we are. Are white women gonna vote for Joe? See, now that's when you need the whole.
White women should vote for Joe.
There's your problem.
He's done a lot of work in his
white middle class
years.
suburban women. They ain't. I don't think they're voting
I don't
for
think
Joe.
black women would vote for Joe.
I think black women will vote for Joe before they vote for Trump.
Oh, hell to the yeah.
But that's what we're talking
if
about.
they had a
That's
different
all we're
choice,
talking about
they
now.
would-
No. This is the choice, Karen. What are you talking about? This is where we're at. Where we're at.
He's already said that he was going to have a woman running candidate.
Yeah, but that might kill him right there.
And I honestly think that his best option is Kamala Harris.
Okay, I don't think so. People don't like Kamala Harris.
They don't like Elizabeth Warren.
I didn't say pick Elizabeth Warren either.
They didn't like Amy Klobuchar either.
Look. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he should pick
He should do it.
I don't think he should necessarily pick a vice president from the field of the people that he was running for the Democratic nomination against.
Well, like they said
That's not
yesterday,
necessarily a good idea.
like they said on the podcast, trying to tap a governor at this point would not be a good idea.
I don't know, Mario Cuomo.
Not
Cuomo.
Andrew.
Andrew?
Mario's his daddy.
Oh, not the daddy. The one that's there now.
Andrew.
That's actually giving press conferences of good information about the whole
Telling Trump to
COVID-19.
shut the fuck up.
That's the guy that you make vice president.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
He could be your COVID-19 czar.
Listen, there's no way that he will tap him now after saying, I'm going to choose a woman.
Why,
It
yeah,
would
he
be
can't go
political
back on his
suicide.
word. Well, I don't know if it would. Because basically he could run down all those women that you just said and let them all say no.
Right.
And then he could get that guy. He could say, I wanted a woman, but the women that I wanted did not want the job. They wanted to stay in the Senate. They wanted to stay in the House. Blah, blah, blah.
First time in my political history, I'm sure this has happened other times, but this time is the first time I've ever heard anyone who's been publicly shortlisted say, yeah, if I'm asked to be vice president, I'm going to take the job. Usually they say, oh, I don't know,
Yes, but
blah,
that
blah, blah.
person that said that wasn't.
All three of them have said it. Kamala has said it. Amy has said it.
But nobody likes
Elizabeth
these people.
has said it.
Oh, God.
I missed.
You did. I don't think anybody wants any of them to be vice president. As a citizen, would rather them in their jobs as senators.
I would prefer Amy in the Senate.
All of them.
Until hell freezes over, because she is a fighter and she does a lot of great stuff for people.
Well, I'm just saying, I would rather them doing that fighting, because they're not doing that fighting as a vice president. So
no.
I would rather them doing that fighting publicly in the Senate, where you can see it, and they're fighting for, because the senators, in my opinion, are doing more for outside of their state.
Right.
They're looking more at the country than congressmen are. Congressmen are very much focused on their congressional district.
Now, what if he chose someone like Julian Castro?
He ran for president.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you keep picking people that ran for president? If I run for president, I don't want to be vice president.
What about Stacey Abrams? She never ran for president.
Right. It's people like that. Those are the people that he has to start looking at, because they haven't built up ill will with all of these people in all those debates.
Yeah.
They haven't looked at them and they know that they sort of know about them. They can get to know them, hopefully, over the next couple months, and then they might be good for going after people, giving the narrative. Blah, 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 being the attack dog that they want sometimes. They can do those things because basically, as soon as the vice president becomes vice president, he disappears in politics. He's not even fucking elected.
Right. Not anymore.
He never was. The vice president was never elected. The vice president was just the loser in the presidential.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He came in second. He was second best.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I
know that he should not try to tap these women governors, especially like Gretchen Whitmer has been mentioned a number of times over the last few weeks. They do that, they lose Michigan. Because she's already got all these Trump supporters protesting at the damn Capitol.
Isn't that going to be in every state? You got to remember, Michigan has more Republicans or more conservatives than it does liberals. It's just the liberals are in the large pockets on the edges, on the periphery. I mean, most states are like that, though. If you do a red and blue electoral map, you'll see how red the United States actually is. That's why people that follow politics, they didn't think the Republican Party would ever win with Trump, but it's not really all that surprising when you look at the map. It's just not, it doesn't look like a lot. I mean, the number of people doesn't look like a lot, but the redness of each county, oh yeah, it's almost all red. The whole map is almost all red if you use that red-blue thing. It's only small areas that are blue, and those are the progressive urban areas. Yeah, there are. I don't know. Have you ever seen on the map where it's a rural blue area?
Nope.
With not that many people, but it's a rural blue area? No, that's not how America works. Its rural areas are probably its most conservative areas, and its urban areas are its most liberal areas, and then everybody falls somewhere in that spectrum.
Well, I've been trying to figure out how are we going to vote this year, because this will be Aaron's first election.
Your first one, man. Hope you're paying attention, because if not, you'll be casting a ballot for, I don't know, whose name looks cool. You won't have colors like in the NFL.
For Joe Exotic.
You won't be able to look at the helmets or anything and pick the colors or the jerseys or their arms.
I'll vote for Joe Exotic.
That's what you going good Tiger King on your ass?
Yeah,
that's what you're doing?
Sure.
If you want to follow the Traveling Farce, you can follow us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and basically anybody that does podcasts. I'm not saying Google Podcasts anymore, because it's anybody who does podcasts. This is anybody who does podcasts. we are the Traveling Fars. If you like the Instagram and the Twitters, we are Traveling Fars. If you like the email, we are travelingfars@gmail.com, which she reads all the time. And the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. We are out of here.
Bye, people.
Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people.
Happy birthday.